Hi everybody, Kevin here. Welcome to the Claremont Classic Garage. Here's what we're up against today. I've got our little McKee snowblower pretty much finished. And we've got the front dozer blade or snow blade, whatever we'd like to call that, all finished up. And we've got everything sitting on dollies. So what we're going to do is a little quick change. The Kubota right now is set up in its usual winter configuration with the front mount blower and the drag blade on the back. We're going to swap it over to our B squad of the blade on the front and a blower on the back. And we're going to see how that switch over goes and make sure that the blower is going to work on that machine and we'll be ready to use it in case we have a failure or something goes wrong with the front mount blower and we need to swap it over. So far, so good. It's sitting on there nice. It's relatively level. So I'm going to pull the pins out now and see if it'll actually roll across the floor. That went great. I like that a lot. It's perfect. Well, we're ready to hook it up for the first time to our B3000. First thing I got to do is get the drive shaft on there, get the PTO cap removed from there, and then we can back the tractor in and see about mating them up. Drive shaft is on, the PTO pin is in, so what we do now is extend the drive shaft out so that once the tractor gets close, we've got room to jiggle in there and get it engaged on the PTO shaft. Then we back up the rest of the way and hook up the actual hitch. Got all our linkage hooked up. Went quite nicely. The only real trouble I had is that these two holes, I had somehow forgotten to clean the paint out of them, and the pin was a little tight going in, but it's okay now. So now what we have to do is we have to make sure that our drive line is as straight as it can be, like following the center line of the tractor. And that looks pretty good. So we're going to go ahead and find suitable holes and drop our pins in the sway control. So there's one there. It lines up perfectly. And what lines up good on this side? This one. Oh, there we go. Perfect. Okay, now the next thing we got to do is we have to adjust our top link. We want this thing to kind of sit level. And you can see it's not level. So we have to shorten the top link to pull the snowblower back up this way. So we're going to go ahead and do that now and see how we make out. I adjusted the center link and pulled the blower level. Now we've got a new problem. You can see, even though the 3-point hitch is all the way down, the snowblower doesn't touch the ground. That's no good. In the meantime, I'm going to lift the thing up and see if we can sit it on our dolly here. I might add that this problem is mostly because this tractor has the turf tires on it. You can see they're 13.6/16. And when you have ag tires or industrials, I'm pretty sure you get 12.4/16. So these turf tires either don't come in that size or they determined that they needed to put bigger ones on due to the weight of the machine. So anyway, the normal tires are only about this tall. So these tires are quite large, which lifts the back of the tractor up in the air and causes this dilemma. I guess theoretically I could put a little bit larger tire on the front and you know, it would pivot on the back axle and get that hitch back down into the ground. Well, it's on there, but you can see it's lifted the front wheels off the ground a little bit. So we'll extend the top link and that'll get it leveled back out. I'm just going to see what happens if I move these to that hole. I thought about it, and it will actually increase the range both ways, as well as reduce the lift capacity of it. So we'll see how that works out. Really, I'd be best, I think, to drill a hole right in between these two, but we're going to see how it works in this hole first, and we'll go from there. Switching it to the other hole, you can see we have gained quite a bit of drop. So I'm going to go ahead and switch the other one over now, and we're going to see then what happens when we hook the snowblower back up. It hooked up like normal. I'm going to start it up now and see if it'll lift it up. Still lifts it up like nothing. I'm not sure by what percentage we reduce the capacity of the lift by moving that, but not enough to worry about this thing. Now I'm going to take it right up and see how close the top link comes to the bodywork. No problem, tons of space, and there's no risk of anything hitting the window, although I can't close it now. But anyway, we'll put this thing back down. Oh, first I'm gonna get the trolley out of there. Whoops. It just did a 180. All right, now we'll put the blower down and make sure it hits the ground. Bang, you heard it hit the ground. So, that's good. All right, we solved that problem. It's still leaning that way a little bit. We need to shorten up the top link a tiny bit. So that's perfect. It's running on the ground. You can see the cutting edge is about an inch off the floor, which is what I'm after to avoid ripping up the sod and the gravel and everything else that I would snow blow over. Now I guess we'll turn it around and put the blade on the front. Now we'll stick our newly painted blade back on and see how that looks. Now that I see the blade all done up nice, sure makes that quick hitch look ugly, doesn't it? That, I think, is getting due for a spruce up. Oh golly, while I was rebuilding the blade, I forgot to write down, these are color-coded, red and blue, and I forgot to write down which one was for which side. Oops. Anyway, I'll just start it up and lift it off the trolley and jiggle it back and forth a couple of times, and we'll see. And then I have color-coded tie wraps, so we'll get the right one on there. Well, lucky guess, I got it right the first time. I'll put the tie wraps on now before I forget. Wow, that's super, eh? I think I'm going to leave it this way for the duration of snow season, which is maybe 2 or 3 weeks. There's still 2 or 3 weeks left where you don't dare put all this stuff away because you never know what can happen. But I'm pretty happy. I've used it with the blade on the front for about half the winter. So I'm not too worried about that. And it'll work pretty well with the blade on the front and the blower on the back. So the last thing we got to do is turn the PTO on and see if this thing actually works. I've turned it by hand and everything turns, but haven't tried it with the PTO, so I'll give that a go now. That's just at idle. I'm going to let it run like that for a minute or two. All right, she's running at rated speed. It's going like mad. Nothing's falling off. I think we're in good shape. Drivetrain looks solid. I think we're good. Perfect. That all went pretty well. I'm pretty happy with the alternate setup. So, you know, I don't anticipate any trouble with the front mount blower, but if something ever did, I mean, I had a problem last winter with when the drive shaft puked out of it. But if something like that happens and I'm stuck and I need to clean the snow, no problem. We can fire the McKee on the back, put the blade on the front, and we can carry on like nothing else. Anyway, so that was that. I'm very happy with it all, how it all worked out. And until next time, this is Kevin checking out from the Claremont Classic Garage. Thanks for watching, and so long.